Hey, hello again. This is another song I've written in the last couple of weeks to sort of make a commentary on our current state of shelter in place. This is the first time I've performed it, sung it anywhere. You are going to be the first people to hear it. See if it resonates with you. I hope it does. Precedes order, all in its own time. Betting on the opposite will not win you a dime. Holding to our corners with no sense of control might feel unfulfilling, but it's healing to the whole. I've got to remember to feed the faith of the joy and of the sorrow. We're stronger today than yesterday, and we'll be stronger yet tomorrow. The space between us doesn't divide, it connects us all as one. So feed the faith, be there for each other. Day by day, we rise above. Every day behind me brought me to today. Highs and lows and crazy days befell along the way. How I longed for knowledge of what lay up ahead, but fear of what was unknown simply fed the fears inside my head. I haven't yet learned to feed the faith, the joy and love the sorrow. We're stronger today than yesterday, and we'll be stronger yet tomorrow. The space between us doesn't divide, it connects us all as one. So feed the faith, be there for each other, and day by day, we rise above. Feeling closer to you than ever before. Never find a social hold quite like this. So come on and join me, let's feed the faith, love the joy and love the sorrow. We're stronger today than yesterday, and we'll be stronger yet tomorrow. The space between us doesn't divide, it connects us all as one. So feed the faith, be there for each other, day by day, we rise above. I forgot to say I was so nervous before doing that because I haven't ever done it before. I forgot to say that a lot of that is based on a wonderful talk that my friend Reverend Jackie Holland did at CSL in Boise a couple of Sundays ago. And I wanted to give her credit for delivering words that I couldn't find myself so I could turn them into this song. So thank you, Reverend Jackie. Love you very much.
All right, so good morning, everybody, and welcome. Thank you for joining us. We've got another song for you.
Wow.
All right, and now we'll do the lighting of the Christ candle. This candle represents the divine light within each of us. And our mission statement, we are a welcoming community supporting our mutual quest for spiritual truth.
Yeah.
And Tracy's joining us this morning. She's going to read our invocation and statement of faith.
There is one presence and one power active in the universe and in my life, God the good omnipotent.
Candle, climb upward, tallow, return, lengthen, burnt wick, do me this trick, unburn, 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 make me a child again, just for today, foolish and wild again, just for today, make me unwise again, teach me surprise again, seeing through young eyes again, just for today. Wisdom desert me, folly return, brain of my youth, winkled by truth, unlearn, unlearn, unlearn. Children who cared for me, come out and play. Don't hide in memory, just for today. Kitten, be found again, I'll chase you round again, free and unfrowned again, just for today. All that is beautiful, bring back once more. Leave all that's dutiful outside my door. Tell me the prayer to play. Tell me the price to pay for one sweet yesterday, just for today. Candle, climb upward, tallow, return, lengthen, burnt wick, do me this trick, unburn, unburn, unburn.
And Tracy's going to read the daily word for us today.
The daily word for today is let go, let God. I let go and trust the divine in me. When faced with a decision to make, do my thoughts turn immediately to divine guidance, or do I seek God's help only when all else fails? Unity co-founder Charles Fillmore wrote that God loves to be used, and the more you use him, the more easily you use him, and the more pleasant his help becomes. God lives in me and expresses through me. All of the attributes of God are as near as my next thought. I release my attachment to limited human reasoning. I center my mind and heart on the constant flow of divine love, wisdom, understanding, and strength. In the divine flow, I find answers to questions. New possibilities for good emerge. I move forward with confidence. And from Deuteronomy 4:29, from there you will seek the Lord your God, and you will find him if you search after him with all your heart and soul. I let go and trust the divine in me. Blessings.
Thank you, Tracy. That was beautiful. All right, for our Unity happenings. Next Sunday, we have guest speaker Fran Gregory. And unfortunately, we had some technical challenges last Sunday when Michael Gregory did the first Unity principle, but I think he got through it pretty well. Fran will pick up the pace and then be discussing the second principle next Sunday. So please join us for that. And we're going to try after the Zoom service and after we turn off the video, doing a little bit of fellowship online. So if you'd like to join us, and you can turn on your video or not turn on the video, but kind of chat amongst ourselves for a little bit to make a little bit more of a connection. We plan on doing that after service next Sunday. So we hope you'll join us for that. Last week, we showed our lottery drawing, if you will, the Wheel of Names, for those who made donations during the month of April. And Morris was our lucky winner of a Sprouts Farmers Market gift card. So he'll be receiving that soon. So for each person who makes a donation by mail, by mailing in a check or making a donation online through our website using PayPal, their name is put into the drawing. And I found that really cool Wheel of Names website online where you can put the names on the wheel and spin the wheel, and we'll all find out together who gets that special gift on the second Sunday of the following month. So I hope you'll all participate. I thought that was kind of fun to see. And we'll also share the news with that winner. If they're not watching service, we'll give them a call and we'll share that information in the eBlast newsletter. So, and depending on where you live, a board member may deliver the gift to you, or we'll mail it to you, depending on what it is. So I think that's most of our happenings. The next song, Reverend Joanna, I found and chose especially for you.
Have you ever met those who keep humming when the song's through? It's like they're living life to a whole different tune. And have you ever met those that keep hoping when it's hopeless? It's like they figured out what the rest haven't yet. The second you realize what you have inside, it's only just a matter of time. So the back row is your glide, 'cause walking just won't do dance. You don't have to know how to. Ever since grace got you left, till your whole side's hurt and smile, like you just got away with something. Why? 'Cause you just got away with something. Ever since grace got you. So when you're standing in the rain again, you might as well be dancing. Why? So next time when you feel blue, don't let that smile leave you. Why? 'Cause you have every reason just to sing. So the back row is your glide, 'cause walking just won't do dance. You don't have to know how to. Ever since grace got you left, till your whole side's hurt and smile, like you just got away with something. Why? 'Cause you just got away with something. Ever since grace got you. Ever since grace got you. Grace got you. Got away with
got something bubbling inside of you, spilling over cause your life is full. How incredible, undeniable, monumental like the Eiffel. Uncontrollable, let the joy flow through. Ha! Giddy over pity, pretty please. Let me see your hands in the air with you out your seats. Warm it up, let go, shout it out, celebrate. When you can't articulate, just say amazing grace.
The second you realize what you have inside, it's only just a matter of. It's only just a matter of. Sing, so the back row is you glide. 'Cause walking just won't do dance. You don't have to know how to. Ever since Grace got you there, till your whole side turn and smile, like you just got away with something. Why? 'Cause you just got away with something. Ever since Grace got you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ever since Grace got you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Grace got you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Ever since Grace got you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Grace got you. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Grace got you.
All right. So if we're all pumped up, here you go, Reverend Joanna Gabriel.
Oh my gosh, that is wonderful. Oh, I love it. Thank you, Cindy. How perfect is that? I don't think we need to talk. That was it right there. Oh, thank you. How delightful and how wonderful it is to be back with you all today. Oh, it's good to be here. And how are you doing? How are you doing, folks? I know this is long and it's old, and we went through the trauma of starting this whole thing and wondering what the world was happening. And now we've kind of got used to it, and now we're wondering when in the heck will it ever be over? And then the question comes, and I don't know if you've been entertaining this question for yourself, but when is it really going to be over? And what will that look like? And how will we know? There's so much going on so many levels. And are you learning and listening to yourself and trusting yourself that it's yourself who will know when it's time for you to step out there again, to be out there again, to feel like it's okay to be out there again? What does that look like? What does that feel like? Do we know? I'm not sure we do. And there's so much noise and clamoring and opinions and back and forth and shouting, and it's such an interesting juxtaposition when at the same time we have a whole lot of time to just be and to be quiet and to be with ourselves and to be with spring and to be with nature and all of that. And which are you choosing most of? How are you doing that? And what an interesting time. Not an easy time by any means. Wow, not at all. And so it seemed important to me for us to speak to this issue of grace. I love that video. It was so great. Grace. What is grace anyway? We talk about grace. What is it? What is grace? In our traditional religions, very often grace is something that gets sprinkled down from heaven when God is feeling particularly merciful, right? And if we're particularly deserving. Be merciful, Lord. That's what we hear. That's the prayer. And what I've come to understand as I've moved along and opened up and began to open up in consciousness and awareness, and I bet you have too, is that grace isn't something that gets sprinkled down from the heavens when God is particularly merciful. It's because of the ever-present love of God that grace is available in every moment of now. Every moment of now. There's no time when grace isn't available to us. I was looking for a definition, and there's all kinds of esoteric definitions, but one of my favorite writers is Mark Nepo, and he writes, enlightenment is the moment we realize that we are made of love. At that moment, all fear of living disappears. For grace comes to the heart when it realizes what it is made of and what it has risen from. In that moment, grace comforts us that no matter the joy or pain along the way, we are already a part of where we are going. That's grace, my friends. Grace comes to the heart when it realizes what it is made of and what it has risen from. In that moment, grace comforts us that no matter the joy or pain along the way, we are already a part of where we're going. And I find that awareness is so important in these times because we don't know what's going on. We don't have the answers. And we've talked so many times about how the ego hates the unknown. And so the ego starts to act out in fear, in doubt, in uncertainty. And so there's all kinds of noise out there. There's chaos out there. How even more important it becomes to open to the grace within that reminds us that we are already a part of where we're going, that we're already a part of the all that is so much more than this particular time, than these particular circumstances, that we are part of the fabric of the grand design of life itself. And we can't be lost no matter what happens, no matter what's going on. Recently, in the midst of all this, what's happening in our world, I had the occasion to have to be sent to the emergency room. And I'm fine, I'm okay. But at the moment, it wasn't clear what was going on with me. And so I had to go, and I was a little nervous. Well, anytime going to the emergency room, but being nervous, but I didn't know what that was going to be like, giving all the things we see on TV on what's happening in the emergency rooms right now. Now, this was the emergency room at Whidbey Health in Coopville. This is not the epicenter of anything, let alone the virus outbreak, but they have treated some cases, and the hospital is locked down just like everything else is. So it was interesting to go there during this time. And when I was there, and I was there for about 4 or 5 hours because I had to wait for some tests to be run and had an ultrasound done and some blood work and stuff. And while I was there, I was just observing the whole thing. Everybody was there. They have more staff, I think, than they normally would. They weren't very busy at that time. Um, but I saw that in that moment when I was kind of nervous about what they were going to tell me was going on with my body and what was I to expect and all of that. At the same time, I was noticing that here I am sitting in the hospital in the emergency room, observing all these wonderful beings, these nurses and doctors and support staff who are doing the dance that we are watching being done all over our country, all over the world, people putting their lives on the line to support one another. And here I had the opportunity to be there to observe this up close and personal. So I felt like in that moment, in the midst of everything else that was going on, that I had the opportunity to represent all of us sitting there, just loving and blessing each one of them. Their lives, those they love, their perceived enemies, just blessing, 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 blessing all of those, making the choice to be there and do that work. And while I was there, someone had called and ordered a dozen extra large pizzas to come into the emergency room for the staff to have for their lunch, and they were all shrieking in delight and happy, and I was watching them just kind of enjoy that, and just feeling a part of how we've had the opportunity in these times, along with everything else, to realize as human beings how we are capable of stepping up to support one another. And that is grace. That is grace in the midst. You bet it is. Oh my goodness. Yes, it is. And it always happens in our times of trouble, in our times of trauma. Why? Because it's who we truly are. We can't keep ourselves from it because it's who we really are. In those moments, doesn't matter what our politics are, doesn't matter what our religion is, doesn't matter what our credit rating is, doesn't matter what the color of our skin is, doesn't matter where we live. We reach out and help. We have to because it's who we are. It's who you are. That's grace. That's the grace that is within each and every one of us. Over our time together, I had mentioned to you that I'd had a very good friend of mine who had become terminally ill and had gone into hospice. I think you'll remember me telling you that. And we've had some lessons, my friend Quinn, while she's been in this process, that have certainly come to me as a result of standing with her and supporting her through this process. And a couple of Sundays ago, she finally made her transition. She was in hospice for 9 months. When she went into hospice, the doctor, her oncologist, had told her that looking at the tests, looking at the MRI, looking at the blood work, that he believed she had days or weeks. And we were all shocked and horrified at that potential. But when she went into hospice, they gave her a drug to help her with pain that she responded to extremely well and slowed the whole process down. And it was 9 months. And so we had the gift of having her with us for longer than we certainly thought we would. We had so many grace-filled moments in that time. And in our time, I'm going to share this with you because it just feels right. I think she would want me to. In the last hours before she left us, she'd gotten to a place where she was mostly silent, or if she did say something, it was yes or no, just like that. That's all she would say. And so I was sitting with her, and there was no one else around at the time. And all of a sudden, she didn't really open her eyes, but she looked towards me and she said, "Joanna, you have to trust yourself." And that's the last thing she said to me. "Joanna, you have to trust yourself." And you know what? That feels like an important message, doesn't it? And it feels like a message that was coming not just from her, but from the light that she was and still is and has become even more of now, because I'm really clear the other side is even brighter because she's there. And it feels to me like that's a message for all of us. Dear one, you have to trust yourself. That's where grace is. That's where grace comes in. Open to the grace that lives in you, in your heart. If you want to know where it is, look in your heart. Don't look in your head. Look in your heart. That's where grace lives. That's where it is. And we're getting through these times. It isn't always pretty. It's kind of messy sometimes. But if we trust ourselves and one another and remember that there's so much more unfolding than what we see on TV or what we see in Google News or the videos or whatever, there's so much more going on. And that if you and I can tap into the grace available to us in our hearts in each moment of now, all are lifted up just a little bit and just a little bit more and just a little bit more until we're all tapping into the grace in our hearts, because that's where we're going. Sometimes it sure doesn't look that way, but remember what love does. Love seeks out everything unlike itself and brings it to the surface to be healed, to make room for more love. And indeed, dear ones, what's happening all around us. So let's take a moment now to breathe. Just breathe. Take this all in. Just breathe. As our friend David Duval was singing, be still and breathe. And open the doors and windows in your heart to the grace that is available to you in this moment of now, just because you are. Just because you are life. Open the doors and windows of your heart and allow the embrace of divine love, of divine light, divine essence, all that is God, to reach in and embrace you, to hold you. Hear that whisper, I've got you, dear one. All you have to do is trust yourself. Trust yourself. Trust. And as we breathe and feel the embrace of the divine, there may be those that you know who really could use this reminder, who really could use this embrace right now, who, because of what's going on, may not have their heart open. And so consequently may not be feeling this embrace right now. It's available, it's there, but things may be tough, things may be tight, things may be difficult, and it's not where they're sitting right now. And so, because we're all one, you and I opening our own doors and windows, allowing that embrace for ourselves, can experience that embrace for them in this moment of now. And if you want to, let's take a moment in the silence to just be with that. And if you want to, say their names out loud, bring it forth. For all those who are coming to your mind and your heart right now, for all those, all our sisters and brothers in spiritual community, all those in our community at large, all those in our state, in our country, in our world, all life forms, our nature, wildlife, our elders, our children, all those who are suffering, all those who are confused, who are afraid. As we open ourselves to divine love and divine light, all life is lifted up. Let it be so. In the name and through the power of infinite source, divine love, Holy Spirit, all that is. Amen. Blessings, everyone.
All right. Thank you, Joanna. I'm going to open up the mics for a moment and see if anybody on Zoom would like to ask a question.
Please
So,
do. Please do.
all right. Participants are unmuted. Would anybody like to ask Joanna a question?
Joanna, I think that your talk today worked in really well with the daily word.
Oh, good. I like when that happens.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tracy.
Thank you, Joanna.
I've also put it out to our YouTube viewers. We've got 7 people currently. We had up to 10 or 11 at one point. So there's a little bit of a delay on YouTube. So I want to give them about a minute to see if
Okay.
anybody wants to chime in.
Is this useful today, guys? Is this the kind of thing you're wanting to hear and feel into as we're moving through these times?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Yeah, yes, definitely.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is Joy.
Hi, Joy.
Good morning. Hey, I totally agree with what you're saying today. As a teacher, we're working virtually now. And just this week, I had a parent emailing me like that she was on the verge of tears. She'd missed her Zoom meeting. The kids were and all this was going on. And exactly what you said is what I said to her. I said, breathe and walk away. And I find myself doing that around the house with the husband too. Just breathe and walk away.
Wow. Wow. Those are words of wisdom, Joy. Thank you. Yes, Ducky? Anyone else?
Well, just want to say that I appreciate your message today. It was wonderful. Namaste.
Thank you. Namaste. Thank you very much.
Namaste, Joanna.
My honor. Thank you very, very much.
Yeah, we appreciate you being with us and so available, especially during these very challenging times for all of us. So thank you very, very much.
Absolutely. I'm honored. And you know, guys, and Cindy, I just getting nudged to just say, you know, even, along with all this, you all have all the shifts and changes in your own spiritual community. And just know it's all about allowing the grace to come forth. Remember that we're already a part of where we're going. And that's true for you too, as you move forward in how your community, your spiritual community evolves and goes to the next level, whatever that looks like. It's all good. Yeah.
Thank you. Yes, that's very, very important. We are coming up on our 75th anniversary.
Wow.
We had hoped to be celebrating, you know, in person with a big party, but that may have to be a bit later.
75 years and 6 months, maybe.
There you go. All right, everyone. Well, thanks again, Reverend Joanna. We will be seeing her again soon. So stay safe and be well and know that we love you very, very much.
Love you all.
All right, here's a new one for you. 1, 2, 3. On and on I trust, the Spirit will be there, listening to my thoughts and sharing all my prayers. Always my companion, morning, noon, and night.
was another original by David Duvall. I think that this quarantine is doing great things for his music. Mark and I want to encourage him to make a CD, not necessarily titled Quarantine Music, but to put some of these songs that he's writing now that could apply to any and all challenging situations. I think he's doing some great work. So now's our time, and he did give us special permission to play his music because he loves us so much too, and we've been helping him. So it's a beautiful thing. So as you're preparing your tithes and love offerings today, think about how blessed you are. And as you are writing your check or giving your gift, send your blessings out. Now we have 2 ways for you to send your gift to Unity of Bremerton. You can mail your gift to us. Our address is P.O. Box 2218, Bremerton, Washington, 98310. Or you can go to our website, www.unitybremerton.org, and click on the Make a Donation tab. And Tracy will read our offertory blessing.
Divine love in and through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I am, all that I give, and all that I receive. Thank you, God.
Okay, so I think we'll try it again. I'm going to unmute everybody. And does anybody have any good news they'd like to share? We did get a comment in from Lynn. Lynn's watching us on YouTube, and she says she's doing well. She is in a shelter at the moment, but she is safe, and she's trying to find her next place where she can live. So we wish her well on that.
Sure.
Hi, Lynn. Blessings to you.
I have some fabulous news.
Oh, go, Barbara.
Jamie, my dear lovely husband, gets to donate his bone marrow to save his brother's life.
Oh, how wonderful.
Isn't that fabulous?
Amazing.
So
Thank
he'll
you,
be
Jamie.
Fabulous.
When
In
is that
about-
going to happen,
in
Barbara?
about 5 weeks. What's the dates, Jamie?
The 22nd of
June.
June. Well, in Atlanta, Georgia.
Atlanta, Georgia. Yeah.
Emory University.
Oh, wow.
Emory University in Atlanta, Georgia.
I'll be there for about 10 days.
Wow. Blessings to you guys. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Very
It's
good.
really, really, really amazing, Jamie, and it's nice that you were able to be a match.
Yeah, it really worked out.
He's
What a-
very excited.
What a gift for everyone. That's incredible. Well, I understand our dear Sally was able to do something good in her life. She was able to move to a different apartment to make her
Yay.
happy and a little bit
Yay.
safer and peace of mind for our wonderful, sweet Sally. So I wanted to share that news.
Yay.
I think it's good news.
Great news.
Great
It
news.
is.
Love to Sally.
Do we have an update on Marilyn, Cindy?
Nora's been more in touch with her lately. I keep missing her. I don't know why. I try to call her and I never seem to catch her. Nora, have you got something current on Marilyn? Maybe not. I'll let you know. Maybe I'll have to try.
I had a nice long phone conversation with her. It
Oh,
was
good.
great. It was great.
Wonderful. Yeah, she's a feisty little thing. She's hanging
Yes,
in.
she is. Yes, she sure is.
We'll have to find
Good.
out if she's got a window view, and maybe we can all go out and stand on the sidewalk and wave at her.
That would be great.
Found about the card.
I may have to work on that.
That would be cool.
I have something else. So about a week ago, we finally got our garden in. Woo!
Yay!
Yay!
Yeah, I just never know if it's going to happen each year, but we managed to get some more garden soil in from Morrison Gravel, and the granddaughters helped. We all got the starts in that they started in little pots, and so it looked so cute to see all these little things starting to pop up in our garden, and it just makes me very happy.
That's great.
Nice. Yeah, I got to do my garden this year. I didn't get to last year because of all the training and traveling I was having to do last year. So we've got several tomato plants, and we've got green onions and herbs and cilantro, and I'm just loving it.
Yay.
Yes. Yes.
Let's see. Joyce says she sent several cards to Marilyn on behalf of the church. Thank you, Joyce. I know several of us did
Joyce.
send Marilyn birthday cards. She got one from Unity, which we're doing between Nora and Tracy are sending out birthday cards to the membership. But I know that there were several others of us that sent Marilyn cards on her birthday, and then just occasional, just because we're thinking of you cards. So we got a good group looking out for our Marilyn, even if we can't see her in person.
Absolutely.
That's great.
And of course, keep up the, if you hear of someone who needs some, a little boost. I've got a friend on Facebook that she's got, I think it's either her kids or nieces and nephews or something. One's graduating, one's one of the 2020 graduates from high school, and one is making the graduation from junior high to high school. And she's been asking if people would be willing to send them some congratulation cards to kind of boost their spirits. And so I don't know them, but I'm sending them cards. So, I think that's kind of fun to go back to our old fashioned ways, because, we used to do that all the time.
Yeah, true.
I have something to share, I guess. About 3 weeks ago, I was in for a minor procedure at the hospital, and I had to be sedated, and I was spending the night, so they made sure that everything was okay. And I had taken my tablet with me, so when I was in the hospital, I could, still keep in contact with people. And when I finally came out of anesthesia, when I was up in my room, something had happened and my tablet got cracked. The screen was just completely gone because it was cracked so bad. So I talked to the people on the floor, and they took a picture of my tablet and said that they were going to take care of it. And then I got a phone call day before yesterday from the manager of the surgery department. And he said that he had gotten the information and he just wanted to make it right. And he said, let me get some information, I'll call you back. Well, no more than a minute went by and he was calling me back. And he said, I happen to be in our administrator's office and we have tablets here. And he started reading off the specs and I'm like, oh, sounds good. So he even delivered it for me.
Wow.
Oh,
And
wonderful.
so they delivered a new tablet and it's wonderful. And I'm very happy to be have my tablet back. So,
Yay.
and
Great.
Harrison Hospital was absolutely marvelous about the whole process. So
Good.
Great.
Mm.
Well, everybody, I think that is that for today. Let's do the prayer for protection. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all
is
well.
well.